God's alert. Evacuate now when life sounds the alarm. Most people hit snooze. They wait, they hesitate, they hope for a better moment. But champions, they move. They don't wait for the perfect time. They act in the critical moment. God's alert is never random. It's a call to rise, to leave what is comfortable, to step into what is necessary. This is your signal. Evacuate now. From your excuses, from your fear, from your comfort zone. Because staying where you are will cost more than moving forward. Recognize the alarm before it's too late. The greatest failures in life rarely come from lack of talent. They come from ignoring the warning signs. Life sends signals, subtle at first, almost like whispers in the wind. And if you train yourself to hear them, you move before the storm arrives. Most people wait for the walls to shake before they even think about leaving. That's not awareness, that's reaction, and reaction is always a step behind. When your instincts tell you something's wrong, don't debate them. Don't hold a conference in your mind with your doubts sitting at the table. Move. Awareness is a skill, and it's built by paying attention when others are distracted. Every champion has a moment where they hear something others didn't. It's that inner voice that says, "This is your moment, don't miss it." It's never loud, never comfortable, it's urgent. You can't afford to sleep through that moment. Hesitation is a luxury reserved for those who never plan to rise. The moment you feel that inner tension, that pull, that alarm, you respond. Recognition doesn't happen by accident. It comes from a mindset that expects the unexpected. It's the belief that storms are always forming, and your job is to feel the shift in the air before the lightning strikes. Life has a way of testing your focus. The noise of daily routine dulls the sense of urgency. That's why you must train yourself to listen beyond the noise. The alarm is never convenient, and it never arrives with perfect timing. The ones who fail are the ones who dismiss the small signs because they're too focused on the obvious ones. They want a billboard in the sky that says, "Leave now." But life doesn't work like that. It gives you a whisper, a nudge, a gut feeling. You don't need proof to act. You need perception. Proof comes when everyone else already knows. Perception gives you the edge when no one else sees the threat coming. Think about every mistake you've ever regretted. It started with a moment you sensed something but ignored it. That's the real tragedy, not that you didn't know, but that you knew and chose silence. Train your instincts to speak louder than your comfort. Trust them more than the opinions around you. The alarm isn't for everyone. It's for those who are prepared to listen. When you start to live with that level of awareness, you become a step ahead. You evacuate before the flood, you move before the collapse, you rise before the fall. That's what sets you apart. The alert doesn't come with explanation. It comes with direction. It says move and expects you to understand why later. Champions don't ask for details when urgency calls. They act. Life will never stop sending alarms. The question is, will you treat them as background noise, or will you treat them as life? Saving signals. Every opportunity is a warning in disguise, either to leave what is failing or to step into what is about to grow. But only the awake will recognize it. You don't get extra chances to hear the same alarm. When it rings, answer it. That's how you survive. That's how you rise. Fear is the real danger. Fear disguises itself as logic. It tells you, stay where you are. It's safer here. It wraps its arms around you and pretends to protect you, when in reality it's chaining you to the place where you'll sink. The storm outside is rarely the real threat. It's the storm inside, of doubt, hesitation, second guessing, that buries dreams before they ever leave the ground. People love to say they're waiting for the right time, but what they're really doing is negotiating with fear. They want permission to move, but fear never signs that paper. Fear feeds on stillness. It grows stronger the longer you sit with it. Movement starves it. Every step you take against it makes it weaker. The problem is, fear is seductive. It speaks your language. It uses reason, family, tradition, even love to convince you to stay small. It knows your history and uses it as evidence against your future. But here's the truth. Every great leap is taken with fear still present. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's the decision that fear will not make the final call. Fear makes cowards of men who once dreamed of greatness. It turns warriors into watchers, waiting for someone else to make the move. You want to know why most people never escape their situation. It's not because the door is locked, it's because fear convinced them it was. Fear will give you 100 reasons why you shouldn't evacuate. It will show you all the risks, all the potential losses, and none of the destruction that staying will cause. When God sends an alert, fear tells you to wait for confirmation. But by the time confirmation arrives, the path is gone. The ones who win are the ones who move trembling, who pack their bags with shaking hands, who step into the unknown while fear screams behind them. You'll never fully silence fear, but you can outpace it. Every action is a punch in its mouth. Every decision to move forward is a victory over its lies. Fear thrives in comfort, it dies in motion. The moment you step, you take away its oxygen. So when the alarm sounds, don't look around for who's brave. Be the one who moves first. Fear is the real danger, not the storm itself. You can live your whole life trying to avoid what might hurt you and end up living in the one thing that definitely will fear. Your comfort zone is a trap. Comfort is the enemy of urgency. It's the soft bed you don't want to leave, even though the house is burning down. It whispers to you, stay here, it's familiar. You know this pain, this mediocrity, this routine. And that's how it traps you, not by being dangerous, but by being familiar. Every great story of escape begins with someone getting uncomfortable. Champions hate comfort, not because it feels bad, but because it breeds weakness. Comfort convinces you there's always more time. It tells you tomorrow will be better, that the world will wait for you. But it doesn't. When the alert comes, comfort will be the loudest voice telling you to ignore it. It will give you 1,000 reasons why now isn't the time. You have to see comfort for what it really is, a beautifully decorated cage. You think you're free because you're not in pain, but you're not moving either. The moment you start to feel too safe, too settled, too still, that's the moment you should check the sky for smoke. Growth never happens in the recliner. It happens on the run, in the uncertainty, in the stretch where you wonder if you made the right choice. Comfort demands no discipline. It lets you stay soft, but the world doesn't reward softness. It rewards those who move when it's hard. Evacuation always feels like loss at first. Leaving your comfort behind feels like leaving your identity, but you're not losing safety. You're leaving the illusion of it. Your comfort zone has never built a legend. It has only built memories of what could have been. Every person you admire once stood where you are comfortable enough to stay, hungry enough to leave. The truth, comfort will kill you slower than disaster, but the result is the same, regret. So when the alert sounds, pack up your comfort and set it on fire. You can rebuild a home. What you can't rebuild is lost time. The trap is set with silk, but it closes with steel. Escape now. Immediate action beats perfect planning. Waiting for the perfect plan is just another form of procrastination dressed up as wisdom. You think you're being smart by analyzing every angle, but the clock is still ticking, and storms don't wait for your spreadsheet. Action is the great separator. It's what divides the ones who escape from the ones who explain why they couldn't. Every second you wait for clarity is a second you give to chaos. The truth is, no one ever had the perfect plan before they made the right move. They stepped, then they figured it out. Action creates clarity. You move, you learn, you adjust. Planning has a place, but in moments of alarm, its place is behind movement, not in front of it. Your instincts are already trained more than you think. They just need to be trusted. Every great play started with motion, not a masterpiece of a plan. You don't outrun danger with a blueprint. You outrun it with your legs. The perfect plan is a myth designed to keep you polite while your opportunity burns. Evacuation isn't about knowing the route. It's about knowing it's time to go. The ones who act first make room to correct their steps. The ones who hesitate end up correcting their mistakes in the rubble. Quick, decisive action isn't recklessness. It's survival. You'll never know everything you want to know before you move, but you know enough. Move. Sacrifice what's holding you back. Sacrifice is not loss. It's exchange. It's giving up what's keeping you small to make room for what will make you great. Most people want transformation without transaction. They want to move to the next level while still carrying everything from the old one. It doesn't work like that. When the alert sounds, you can't take it all with you. Some of it is dead weight disguised as loyalty, love, or comfort. Sacrifice means cutting ties with the familiar, even if the familiar has a heartbeat. It's looking at something that once mattered and saying, "You can't come with me." Growth is expensive. It costs habits you've loved, people you've entertained, routines you've relied on. And the longer you delay the payment, the higher the price becomes. Sacrifice hurts in the moment, but so does surgery. The pain is proof you're cutting away something that doesn't belong. You can't hold on to what's drowning you and swim at the same time. That's the brutal truth. The world doesn't care how attached you are. It only measures how far you're willing to go. The champions of life carry light baggage because they know the trip is steep. The heavier your load, the slower your climb. Sacrifice isn't just about what you leave. It's about who you become when you finally put it down. Every time you sacrifice, you make a statement. I value my future more than my familiarity. Sacrifice now or lose later. There is no middle. You don't evacuate with your house on your back. You leave it behind and you trust you'll build again. Every big moment in your life will demand a trade. Refuse to trade and you refuse to rise. Sacrifice is the currency of elevation. Spend it. Faith is movement. Faith is not a word. It's a verb. It's not believing in the idea of safety. It's moving in the direction of destiny even when your legs are shaking. So many talk about faith as if it's a prayer you whisper and wait. No, faith is a decision you make when the outcome is still hidden. Faith is packing your bag in the dark, trusting that the light will meet you halfway. It's not waiting for the map, it's walking with only the direction in your spirit. Faith doesn't erase fear, it outruns it. It puts you in motion when logic says stay. The problem is, most people confuse faith with convenience. They think if it's uncomfortable, it can't be God. They think if it's urgent, it can't be wise. But faith has always been urgent. Every breakthrough was born from a moment where someone moved first, understood later. Faith is the bridge between the alert and the answer. You don't always know why he said move, you just know he said move. And when you move, doors open. Not before, not when you sit and analyze, but when your feet hit the ground. Faith makes you leave footprints in places others call impossible. It's trusting that the alert wasn't a mistake, that the urgency wasn't a threat, but a gift. Faith doesn't look like stillness. It looks like evacuation. The world will call you reckless, but the same people will call you lucky when they see where you land. Faith is movement, not meditation. If you want to see the promise, you have to leave the place where you're stuck. The alarm is the invitation, your step is the response. Pressure creates clarity. Pressure has a bad reputation. People think it breaks you. It doesn't. It reveals you. When the alert hits, your mind will feel the weight of 1,000 decisions. Pressure sharpens the blade if you don't drop the sword. Pressure forces you to decide what matters and what's noise. It cuts the excess, clears the fog. The reason most can't hear the alert is because they've never been under enough pressure to recognize the sound. Pressure doesn't lie. It shows you your priorities, your fears, your strengths. Champions use pressure like a magnifying glass. They let it burn through the distractions. You will never know how sharp you are until life puts its full weight on you. The ones who fold under pressure were never prepared to lead. The ones who move under pressure were forged for it. Pressure is a privilege. It means you matter enough to be tested. Every great escape happens in the heat, not in the comfort of cool air. When everything feels heavy, stop complaining. That's your cue that you're in the right place. Pressure teaches speed. It teaches clarity. It teaches decisiveness. Don't run from it. Run with it. Let it push you out of the door before the fire reaches the floor. You'll never see your true capacity until you're pressed. Pressure is not your enemy. It's the coach yelling, "Move now." Don't wait for permission. Permission is a cage. It makes you believe someone else holds the keys to your destiny. If you wait for approval, you'll die in a room full of polite nods. No one is coming to tell you it's time. The alert was your notice. The alarm was your green light. People want validation more than they want victory. That's why they stay, because leaving might make someone uncomfortable. The ones who move don't ask if it's okay. They inform the world with their action. Waiting for permission is the slowest form of self-destruction. It feels respectful, but it's lethal. The world is run by those who didn't wait for the committee to meet. Every second you spend seeking approval is a second the storm gets closer. When you stop asking, you start rising. Permission is a myth created by those who already left. They want you to wait so they can get further ahead. Move first. Apologize later if you have to, but move. The alert is not a question. It's a command. You are given the sign. You are given the signal. That's all you need. You don't need consensus. You need courage. Stop waiting for the door to be opened for you. Kick it. Evacuation leads to elevation. Leaving is not the end, it's the beginning. It's the doorway to something higher, not the finish line to something worse. The reason so many refuse to evacuate is because they mistake departure for defeat. You're not running away. You're running ahead. Elevation always looks like loss at first because you can't see the peak from the valley floor. Every level requires a leaving. You can't get to the top floor while arguing with the lobby. Evacuation strips you of what you thought you needed so you can rise with what you actually require. What you call leaving, the world will later call launching. Elevation doesn't wait for those who cling to the ground. The higher you go, the lighter you must travel. Leaving isn't losing. It's loosening your grip on what kept you small. Every evacuation is an upgrade disguised as an exit. When the alarm says get out, what it really means is go up. You can't rise if you're rooted in ruin. You can't rebuild while sitting in ashes. Evacuation leads to elevation. If you move, you've heard the alert, you've felt the urgency. Life doesn't send signals for decoration. It sends them for deliverance. There's a reason this message came to you now, not later. Because waiting has a cost, and hesitation has a price tag written in missed opportunities and broken potential. The truth is simple. The door is open, but it won't stay that way forever. The world rewards the ones who move when others freeze, who rise when others retreat, who step forward while others are still asking for the path to be clear. The alarm is not your enemy, it's your ally. It's the sound of heaven saying, I still believe in your mission. I still have a plan for your life. I still expect you to rise. There is no second call. There is no softer version of the truth coming next week. This is it. Evacuate now. From the fear, from the doubt, from the comfort, from the people and patterns that make you smaller. You are not running away. You are running towards the reason you were built. You are not leaving safety. You are leaving stagnation. And when you step out, shaking, unsure, even afraid, you will find that every single thing you thought you were losing was only making room for the things you were meant to carry. This is your moment. The clock is ticking. God has sounded the alert, and the next move is yours. Leave behind what doesn't serve you. Step into what calls you. Evacuate now. And rise.